Hey there, welcome to day 54, playing chess every day until I reach 1500 Elo. Currently we're at 1173 after one loss and one win yesterday. We gained one Elo point, and let's go ahead and jump into a 15-minute rapid game. See what we can do. Alright, we're up against an 1187, and we got white. Oh, we're getting another one of these Benoni ones. So I know I want to play here. I think we got this in the last... yesterday, didn't we have one of these? Or was that 2 days ago? Okay, I'm going to play here. And then I think knight here, we push this pawn. I don't remember all the moves, but we were just learning about them. Okay, so he doesn't attack our pawn. I think last time we had the pawn attack, so we had to start getting some more defenders, and he doesn't attack it, so I might just play this right away. Or this. This one is a little bit safer, I think. Because the knight can immediately attack both of these two. And it just seems a little bit more threatening. So let's just play there. And then, now that that pawn's already pushed, then we can bring the knight in. This is going to be our weak pawn here for now, but we can maybe connect this one, or push this pawn, and let the bishop do the defending of it. So yeah, I think knight here seems good. And I have this check, but I don't think I'll get anything from it. So it can go knight here, but I think I still don't get anything from that. Okay, so he's trying to put his bishop here. Let's probably just continue our development. Maybe I'll go ahead and just play this right away. I don't know though, because I don't want to advance the pawns too much and make a bunch of weak pawns. If I go here, here, I get my dark square bishop out. Knight would probably go here, since it can't come to f3. Or I just go here right away. Yeah, I think just go... I think let's just go here right away. I've been pretty busy the past couple days, so I've barely been able to do any chess related stuff. Like, normally I watch some chess videos and try to study it a little bit. And sometimes I play unrated games every now and then as well to warm up and stuff, or play against bots. But I've had like no time to do any of that past couple days, so I feel like my chess intuition and vision is maybe a little bit rough recently, but hopefully we can not miss anything this game. Like yesterday I missed a couple big things. I had some blunders. Okay. And I think I like just going here immediately. Just make a massive pawn chain and then start developing the knights and stuff. Or the other knight here and the bishop. And this prevents his bishop from really developing to any of these squares. Or he does go ahead and get castled early. So I think I want to castle queenside probably, and just tuck away in this corner. Since I have all these pawns pretty far across, I think I can maybe use them to attack a little bit. let's do... Our light square bishop is kind of weak though because it's trapped behind all of our pawns. But let's go ahead and do... actually, I could go bishop here and then queen here and try to use that to get rid of his bishop and get my queen over here. That can be a powerful attacking idea, I think. Since he kind of has this like King's Indian setup over on this side where he castle, which I know that sometimes you want to go for that. So, okay, let's just put the bishop here first. Just get the bishop out of the way and kind of give some extra support to these pawns. And if I ever push this one, then the bishop kind of opens up towards the king. And then I think this bishop here, queen here, castle. All right, he's already attacking the pawns. Do I go here and pin the knight? He takes. I take here. This opens up. He has this check. Then I'll have to like block with the knight or block something like that. Yeah, probably block with this knight. I don't think I like that as much. If I take, I think I like taking actually. But then he'll develop the bishop. He'll put pressure on this pawn. But I kind of like that it opens up my potential attack on his weak pawn here. So yeah, I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to just go for taking because I don't really want this file to open up and then start getting checked and maybe get my piece pinned in front of my king, and then he might create a lot of pressure on me. Okay, so yeah, instead the only pressure is going to be on this pawn for now, where we have it defended. His knight can't really go anywhere on my side. And then I think if I pin this, I'm not threatening to go here because this pawn protects it. If I go here, yeah, I don't think that works yet. So let's just develop this bishop here and then go here and then castle. Also, I have this potentially really nice outpost with the knight, but right now he's looking at it with two pieces, so he could just trade it all off, I guess, or trade one of his pieces off for it. I also can come over here with the queen actually and pressure this pawn, but I think he'll just connect that. Okay, I think I'm going to do knight first and have two attackers on this square so that I could win a pawn if he tries to hop into this outpost. It does have this square, which I think I would just... Would I kick him? I'm not sure actually. Because then I don't have as much security for my king on that side. But yeah, let's just develop the knight first. Maybe I'll castle kingside actually. I think since this is where his weak pawn is and this is a semi-open file, I probably want to maybe move the queen and load the rooks up on this file. And yeah, I think I will plan to castle kingside, because I would like to be able to push this pawn to support this one on c4. But if I do that and my king's castled over here, that's potentially pretty weakening. See if bringing the knight in here at all is good. Bishop can't go here, and he can't go to any of these squares, so his bishop will be forced to go back to a pretty bad square if I do that, or trade it for the knight. So that could be maybe a good idea. Okay, I guess he's preparing to play this. But if I support the pawn, still have two defenders of it. I don't think I'm too worried about that. Let's go... Wait, if I go here, yeah, then he just pushes. But then I have two attackers on it. So maybe I will go here. I was planning to go here to d2, try to get the bishop here and get a bishop trade, and then I'll have my queen right by his king there. But I think if I go here, he can't play this, and then he'll be forced to just more passively defend the pawn. Okay, let's try it. Actually, does it work though? Because if I end up taking and then he goes here, but yeah, then I take this one, he takes here. Okay, let's just go there. I think it seems like a decent idea. I should get castled as soon as I can though. My game from like 2 days ago was so bad because I had a big material advantage and I didn't castle quick enough. And then I just got checked a bunch and I eventually blundered a rook and it was pretty bad. So yeah, I need to always prioritize castling. Okay. Right there. If I go here, yeah, because he is. I wasn't really looking at that move, but he is double attacking the pawn now. And he's protecting this one. If I go here, I protect the pawn. Then if he plays this, then yeah, I think I just take and win the pawn. So I think that this move works, but it seems a little sketchy because there might be other things he can attack me with, like maybe his bishop here. If he attacks with the bishop, then I'm not sure what I'll do actually. Here. The knight's protected. So I might actually be at risk here. If I go here and then he takes, and then I move my knight, then I open this back up, but he can hop away, so I don't think it does anything. Okay, yeah, so maybe I should have just gone here. I didn't realize that this move is actually pretty bad for me. I go here. And then here I double attack the knight, but then he's already able to just take here, so. Yeah, let's just go back to here. And we are setting up this little bit of a battery with the queen and the bishop, which maybe could turn into something over here at some point. So we Taking with the bishops, yeah, I think we'll just take back. I mean, yeah, that's the only option really, unless I played something and just let him take and then I take back, but I think I'll just take. His knight will come in. Might need to move my bishop. Maybe I'll go here. Otherwise, yeah, I could just go here. Maybe this is better because I keep his knight on the edge of the board. He takes, I take here. His knight then will have to just like jump back here or stay on the edge of the board. So maybe that's better, yeah. Let's try it. And then my queen will already be lined up with this, and then I can bring a rook over as well. Maybe if I have a rook here, and this bishop is moved, if my queen's not here anymore, potentially this pawn could end up being pinned to the queen here. And then maybe I could try to look for a way to take the pawn on c5. But yeah, I think I definitely do like this move better because it keeps his knight much more passive, I think. And then yeah, I think I'll immediately bring the rook over. Or do I castle first? I think if I bring the rook over, he kind of needs to respond to that right away. Otherwise, I could just take the pawn. And I have ways of adding more pressure to that pawn as well, like this. Okay. So advancing his pawns. If he goes here, I guess I'll just hop the knight in. My knight goes here. He can just take it. Is there a fork or anything like that over here? No, I don't think so. So yeah, I think I'll just double the rooks up first. Or double the rook behind the queen. And so far, he's winning by a pawn, but I do think I have pretty good piece activity here. His is a little bit worse with the knight on the edge. And I have a little bit of control and pressure on this file. So I don't think my position is like terrible. And so what will he play? He could play the knight back to defend. He could play this knight back to defend. He can't push the pawn. Or he could try to create some other attack. But both of the defensive moves are pretty passive ones. And then I also have the option of doing this to triple up the attack. He's taking his time on this one. I like that so far we're keeping his Darkscore Bishop very passive. Once the knight moves, it will obviously open up, but it can't do much at all right now. Yeah, I want a way to triple up here. If I could get this third rook over, or the second rook lined up with the queen, then that triple stack would be really powerful, I think. Yeah, he just pushes the pawn. So I guess if I take, he takes, I take, he takes this pawn, I take back, he takes with the knight. So he wins a pawn right after me. But I will have my rook right here, pressuring this pawn and pressuring the knight. Otherwise, I could just take this first. And if the pawn comes in, I just take. If the knight comes in, then the knight will help defend this pawn, but then I'll add the bishop. I also go take, he takes, I take. Actually, no, I don't think there's anything else that works. So let's just take here. Oh, wait, actually, once his knight is here, he is pressuring the bishop, which is only defended by the queen. So if I go take, 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 then the knight takes the bishop. So I will need to address that. So I think I'll just move the bishop here first. Make sure there's no other threats from this knight. There is this fork here. So I'll probably, what will I want to do? If he does the fork, then I take, then he takes, then I take, then he takes. Yeah, no, I don't think I don't think the fork looks good for me at all. So I think I really need to prevent that fork. So maybe the bishop just all the way down to here, and then wrap it back around this way at some point. I'll still at least be pressuring the pawn. If I move the queen back over, I feel like I take a lot of pressure off. So yeah, let's just drop the bishop back. But now, yeah, it's a little annoying because it prevents me from pushing this rook forward and then doubling up rooks because the knight's covering that square. So if I could trade this knight off, that would be perfect. But I don't have a way to immediately get one of my knights to where it's looking at it. So I'd have to make several moves, I think, to do that. Maybe if I go here. No, because then he'll just take with that one. If I go here. Oh, can't castle from where his queen is at. It's still maintaining protection here. Yeah, I really need my knights on better squares. Maybe just knight here first. Allow myself to be able to castle. And then there might be a way I can reroute it to also try to trade off here. I think I'd like that. And this knight is still pretty restricted. He can't really go anywhere with it except for back. That's at least still good. But this knight has been activated a lot more by going here. Okay, let's just play here. We have two defenders on it. If he moves this knight, he'll open up his bishop as an attacker, but would be okay. But yeah, I think my main goal might want to be trying to get rid of this knight, trade it off. And it's on a light square, so I can't threaten it with my dark square bishop. And I'll probably try to castle next move if I can, and then also move my queen, my king over again, because I don't really like it being pinned here by the queen. Actually, if I do go here next move, that's kind of nice, because then I do put more pressure there. Alright, he defends it. If I go here, I put pressure. I'm also threatening to take the bishop, which could be useful later on, even though right now it's still passive. Here, we're triple attacking. He's triple defending. He also can drop this knight back if he really needs to. If I go here, he needs to take because that's a fork. I take back, then I have an isolated pawn. I think I just want to castle first. And then, can't bring the bishop here yet. But if I could get the bishop here, it would be nice to put more pressure on this pawn. But at the moment, his knight will still just take it. Yeah, this knight is just really difficult to fight against at the moment. What's a way I can, if I go here and then here, no. Well, yeah, I guess I could do that. Threaten to trade it like that, and I'll take back with the bishop. So maybe I do need to do that. Oh, okay, he goes ahead and moves the knight. And this is pinned. So yeah, I need to go ahead and get the queen out of the way, obviously. Where does his knight want to go after this? Can't go here. Can't go here. I think I'll just drop the queen back here. He might just jump right back. into the same square again, though. But I want to still control this whole file here. And I definitely want to move this over. I think if he takes, I'll just take back with this knight. This will open up more pressure on my knight. 1-2 attackers. Then I go over here. And my knight's on a pretty good square. Well, he can take it back with this, actually. Yeah, I might actually just go here so that I have the rook guarding this pawn. Yeah, just play that for now. We have 3 defenders on that pawn. And then I need to go over here. Because I don't want to let him trade this knight off and get his knight out of the game and open his bishop up. Because this knight is not all that useful. So if he gets it traded off, it's trading off a weakness. Okay, he takes anyway. I think I'll just take with the pawn. It does give me an isolated pawn. But if I take with the knight, then he gets to... I mean, take with the knight here. This knight's still pinned, but it's protected. But then it's going to be able to add another attacker there. Okay, maybe... This also allows his knight in over here. So either way, his knight will be freed up. So let's just take with the knight. Hopefully that's not a mistake. But yeah, I feel like I'm still kind of missing a lot of stuff right now. I'm probably making blunders. Unfortunately, okay, another attacker on this. I think I just go right here. That should be okay. 2-3 defenders. Right? 1, 2, 3. And if he trades this knight, then I take back like that, so I have another defender on it, even though he'll have another attacker on it. Okay, let's just play that right away. Because I'm low on time. He's getting kind of low too, but I'm under a minute. Maybe if I can play quicker moves here, we can get some time back. I'm definitely still worried about this amount of pressure, but for now I have it protected. He doesn't have a way to immediately add this rook in. It would take 2 moves, or more than 2 moves, right? Okay, he's taking. Maybe there's a tactic at the end of this that I didn't see, or he just wants to trade everything off. Take here. Can't move this rook, unfortunately. Okay, yeah, we're just going to trade everything. And then it will be hard to come back because of these 2 connected pawns here. But maybe I can get my king active quicker than him. Let's divide like that. If I go here, he pushes. If I go here, he pushes that. Maybe if I go here first. And if he pushes, I can win both the pawns. And if I go here... Wait, can't I go here? Now he's going to be forced to defend this with the rook, I think. Because if he goes there, I take, and then he'll have the pass pawn, but I think I'll be able to get rid of it. Okay, he defends with the rook. Now I can bring my king in. Let's just try to get the king all the way here, right? Keep this king cut off. Yeah, I think I'd just go here. Checks me. Okay. I could probably go here. Check. He goes down or something. Maybe I go here. Great, take. Then I think I can end up taking these pawns right after that. Actually, wait, if he pushes, I take. And my king's up there, then I think he will be able to promote, so maybe that doesn't work. So I might need to go here and then here. Maybe that's the solution. I gotta play something quick though. Let me just keep him cut off here. For now. His time's getting almost as low as mine, so that's a good sign. But he still has a clear advantage, I think. Yeah, he's just gonna go ahead and push that pawn. Do I go like this and prevent his king from coming in at all? Then he goes here. Well, no, then he has to prepare that. I'll just go here first and threaten to win the pawn. Let's just go here first and threaten to win the pawn. But maybe this was better. Okay, he's just focusing over there. I'm just going to purely focus over here on the left side of the board, and he can focus on this side, and I might be able to win the pawn race if he brings his king over here and I bring mine up here, and we trade rooks. I think I can eat his pawn up and maybe promote mine quicker than he can create a passed pawn over here, because at the moment these are not passed pawns, but mine will be if that's what happens. If he trades, and then I can take this one. So my assumption would be that I would win that race. Okay, he goes for the check. Let's go. If I go down, yeah, you can't go here. If I go up, I almost feel like going up is better. If he checks again, go over. Maybe he could perpetual check though. Okay, let's just go down. Still threatening to take this. Okay, so we're gonna just go ahead and take that. Let's try our best to maybe keep his king cut off here. And try to look for a rook trade if we can. Okay, if he takes, I take back. He'll have a pass. No, he won't have a pass pawn there. Yeah, let's just focus over here. I think it's better. I don't know for sure. Let him take. Gee, if I take here, he needs to take with this one, because this one would be hanging if he took with this one. I don't know if that has any impact on what I should do though. Take. Let's just start pushing my pawn, or do I think I just push the pawn. Or I go here, but then he just takes. If I take, he takes. I push the pawn, he takes. Or I can just push this one. Okay, let's just do that. Let's just take first. This could be a mistake. I might just be better off focusing over here, but it's tricky to calculate. Here, and he's going to take that either way. But I just need to push mine. Okay. He goes here, that's an extra move to get his rook out of the way. Yeah, I think I should have just pushed first, because that was an extra tempo I would have had. Because he's going to be able to clear this up regardless. Okay. You just go here. Make it harder for his king to come in. But he can still come up. Getting another interesting endgame, which we've been getting quite a bit of lately, which I like. The endgames are pretty cool, I think. Oh, okay, so he goes for that. I think if I just go up, is he gonna try to sack his rook? Yeah, I think let's just go up. Okay, yeah, he wants to sack his rook. I can bring mine down though. To block him. Let's bring mine down. Okay. I think I'm gonna push first. Neither of us have very much time on our clock. Each move, we're just barely like getting enough time back to play the next move. But I'm covering his promotion square here. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, yeah, that was smart. Dang it. And he promotes with checks, so yeah, I think I'm in some trouble there. Let's see if it's possible though to survive. Does he have any checks here? Yeah, he does. Okay, let's just go here. If I can avoid him checking and promote, then I'm okay. Let's go here, maybe? Or up. Up he has plenty of checks. I can't get in front of the pawn or I can't promote. Let's go here. Does he have a check? Actually, wait, no, he doesn't have a check, right? I think he doesn't have a check. Okay. Let's just start checking him as much as possible. Let's just check here. I think I can perpetual check, maybe. No, because he can block with the queen, so that actually doesn't work. I don't think. Okay, he'll block, but I'm not going to trade it because then he wins. I can still check here. No, he goes that way. Okay, we get the draw. I'm happy to get a draw there because that was really close to losing. Let's check the game review and see what blunders we made there. I mean, I know that I messed up early on when I lost that pawn, but aside from that, there were no like super obvious blunders. There was the rook sack that he did at the end that I missed, which was pretty clever. Looks like, so I have 77.7% accuracy, and he has 81.2, so he played a little bit more accurately. Neither of us had a blunder. I had one miss and he had two. We both had a pretty good game rating. 1,500 for me, 1,700 for him. And let's go through the moves here. We're at same rating, because he was pretty close in rating, so I didn't gain or lose any. Okay, that was good. This was good. I need to still learn a little bit more about this opening. Okay, it looks like I played all... These all say book moves. Wait, no, but I lost my advantage by this move, though. Even though it said it was a book move, I had a plus 0.87, and then it went away when I played that. So I guess that's not the best book move. Okay, did want the bishop over here to attack the knight. I never did play that. It liked taking here, but it preferred developing the knight. That's inaccurate. It wants the knight to develop. Let's just see if there's any big mistakes like that. Yeah, that was a big mistake. Because of this move with tempo and then winning the pawn. And that sent me back quite a bit. that kind of defined the rest of the game. Just that one loss of the pawn. Oh, here it wants me to take first. But I thought that it didn't work because... What was I thinking? I think if take, 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 and then he wins a pawn, right? But then I am pressuring... I considered this where I would be pressuring his pawn and his knight a little bit with my rook. Which kind of seemed okay, but I didn't want to be down 2 pawns though. So let's see why it wanted that though. Take back. He takes. I take. Takes with the knight. But yeah, now he's up. Wait, he's not up 2 pawns? He was up 1 pawn, and then I thought he won a pawn here. Oh, never mind. Because I took this... Yeah, no, I totally forgot that I was like winning a pawn here and he won a pawn. So it was equal. I was thinking that he was going to win a pawn, another pawn in that scenario. Let me just see what else it wanted at the end. There. Here. Knight moves. Okay, I can see why that's kind of good. We trap the knight on the edge of the board. The rook is really active. Okay, yeah, I just miscalculated that I thought he was going to actually win another pawn there. If I didn't miscalculate that, I would have probably played this because I liked the look of getting the rook back here. So let's go back to what we actually played here. So instead I took, and now he had a pretty nice minus 2.38 advantage after that. Did not like the knight here. We wanted the knight over this way. But I just wanted to block. I wanted to be able to castle, so. But doing that and then castling is what got me in a lot of trouble and almost caused me to lose the knight later, but we were able to just barely defend it. That was inaccurate. It was inaccurate of him to go here. It wants this right away. It wants this. He's threatening to take, but I have multiple defenders. But then it does open up the double pin, which happened later anyway, of the pin of the knight on the king and the knight on the queen. So I think that's the reason why I want him to play that. Wants the queen all the way over here. Oh yeah, the knight is undefended. But I liked pressuring this. But I guess it's not good anymore because once he trades, then I'm just stuck in another pin. So getting the queen over does 2 things. It attacks the knight and it gets out of that potential pin. So those moves were all good, it looks like. Oh wait, no, this was not good actually. Yeah, that's when it wanted the queen over. But then this whole sequence was all good. It wanted me to take with the rook here. Knight takes. Take here. Why does it want that? Because now I'm down a lot more material. I guess it just felt like that knight was really active or something. Look like this. It wants him to take with the rook instead of the knight. Here. That's a miss. Add the extra attacker first. Oh yeah, and he can do that because it's still pinned to the king, so I can't just take it. Let's see what the advantage is here. Minus 2.04. So he's had a very nice advantage here for a while. But then we managed to kind of turn it around the endgame. So this, I feel like, is kind of significant. It didn't like a3 here. It wanted me to go here first. But I thought if I go here, and then he pushes, and then I can't play... Oh, never mind. If he pushes, I just take that. But then, yeah, he pushes... oh no, he has to defend. Yeah, I miscalculated that too. In my mind, I thought that if he pushes this one that he was safe, but it's the one behind it is not safe. So a lot of small miscalculations that I'm making right now. So got to just get a little bit more precise with these calculations, like on simple stuff like that. This pawn moves forward, I take that one. That pawn moves forward, I take this one. So he has to defend it. So it wanted me to push that first. A3 was not good, but that was a miss. It wanted him to go over and protect this immediately. That was a good move. And then, why is that a mistake? It says you were keeping the balance, but that move makes your position worse. It wants this to cut off the king from coming in, I guess. Is that all it is? Here. And then his king is a lot more restricted. Because once his king did come in, it made it a lot harder. Because his king was able to threaten my rook. And I had to start running my rook around a bit more. So I think that's all it is. That was a miss. It wants him to push here. Here, here. And then he just gets... He takes that with check, yeah. Takes that with check. Attacks this pawn, and then it's gonna be pretty easy, I think, for him to defend this one. Oh yeah, and he can win that one. Yeah, whenever you have two lined up in the back like this, and the rook comes back, you push one and then you lose the other. For some reason, I do tend to overlook that a little bit. Oh, we did want that check. And the king came over. It wanted this. Oh, and look, we're an equal here. So let me see which move made it equal. It was this. It was just him bringing the king in instead of pushing the pawn. It's crazy how much those type of moves can change the evaluation when they seem like they're totally reasonable moves, just like activating the king more. But that made it drawing. And then, it wanted this up. He comes down. Then maybe I come here. No, it wants me to attack these pawns in the back. And you can't push that one or I take that one, so he has to go back here. Check again. I don't see where it leads to, though. I feel like I'm just bouncing back and forth, like checking him, and... Oh, it wants him to just play this now and give up that pawn, I guess. Take, take. Check. Okay, it's getting kind of far away from where we were, so... I think the move we played was good anyway. Yeah, it said it's excellent. This was good, and then I was really worried about these pawns, so after we won them, and then I'm going to end up with a passed pawn, I felt pretty good about that, especially because he has to do some work over here to make a passed pawn for himself. It was excellent of him to not have traded that. If he traded that, let's see how that would have affected. Yeah, completely losing, so that's what I was calculating, but I mean, obviously he saw that, so he didn't want to trade. But I still felt pretty good here. It looks like we just have drawing odds. That was excellent to take, because I was considering, do I push or do I take? Let me see what happens if I push right away. That's a mistake. Okay, interesting. So I guess he's just going to be slightly quicker here to be able to make his pass pawn. Yeah, because he can take like that. And then he can always come over here and sack the rook whenever he needs to, I think. The taking, which is what I did, was good. And then this was a mistake. It did want me to push this pawn. But why, though? He takes this. Oh, I guess it's just because it's extra moves to go here, and then you move the rook, and then you move the pawn again. Okay. Here, but couldn't you go... No, you can't go like that. Yeah, so you do have to do several extra moves. And it's still drawing odds right here. So let's see what was actually played. Yeah, I just started running for it with the pawn. He was totally winning here. He got that move. And then he was best on that move as well. It wanted me to just go ahead and check him to defend the pawn under attack. That was great. This was best. That was best. That was excellent. But it preferred the king going up first. And then this was only good. I felt like this was like a best move because allowed him to promote with check. And then if he played this correctly, I was completely lost. But luckily, these kind of end games can be hard to find the right moves because there's so many squares you can check on and stuff like that. So luckily he didn't play it correctly and we actually got a draw. I promote. Oh wow. Oh yeah, because no, he didn't have the skewer because I can still go back and cover the queen. But he can force the trade of it, yeah. So he skewers it to force the trade, and then he just wins. So I got really lucky he didn't find that. And then once he pushed the pawn, we're right back to drawing. So that was his big mistake. He didn't force the queen trade there when he had the chance. And then I was able to just keep checking. It wanted him to block, but I would have still been able to check, I think. Yeah, here, or does here do the same thing? Because that's what I was thinking of. Oh no, that's a blunder because it forces the queen trade. Yeah. And then he just wins. So it wanted... I thought he was going to block. I'm surprised he didn't. And that would have made it harder for me to find the right square, because if I did that, I would have lost. It wanted me to go here, though. That was the right square to check. Here, same thing back up, or... Wait. Once over here? What if I go here? Back up. So he's winning again. It's really hard to play this for the draw properly. Like, you have to check on... You have to be on the exact right square every time to check him. Or it immediately goes back to him winning. I got really lucky that he allowed me to get that repeated check on him until we draw. Okay. All right, well, we're still at 1173. We had an interesting in-game there. And, yeah, I am quite enjoying the in-games. I like playing the in-games. I'm not very good at them yet, but I feel like they're really interesting. There's a lot to learn that's, like, totally different from regular middle game stuff and all that. So I'm going to keep working on in-games, and hopefully I can also do a little bit more chess throughout the day in the coming days if I'm not too busy, because I think when I do that, like a little bit of chess stuff here and there throughout the day, it really helps me focus during my game and not miss as much stuff, which I was kind of doing the past few days. So yeah, that's my plan. And thanks for watching. This has been day 54, and I'll see you guys on day 55.